Please confirm if it is visible.
Visible.
Okay. So the quick recap, we have just started about the string manipulations, right? So basically, what is a string? String is nothing but a sequence of characters. It is available in java.lang package, right? One more thing, guys, you do not have to import this java.lang package explicitly for every Java code that we develop. Okay, if you see, you don't see any package that you're importing it explicitly, especially the java.lang package, right? You're not importing it. Even though you use the import keyword and import java.lang package, no issues. No issues. If you're doing like this, you're importing it explicitly. String class is part of java.lang package. Even though you import it or you do not import it, it is always available to you by default. You don't see that a compiler will give that package to you by default. We can say that java.lang package is a default package that is available, even though you import it or you don't import it. You're getting this? That's why it says java.lang package, right? The string is a sequence of characters and it is immutable, means once the object is created, you cannot change it, right? So how you can create a string now? By now, you got to know the string creation, right? There are two main ways to create a string in Java. By using a string literal, directly you assign the string literal to the variable of string type, or else by using the new keyword. These are the two ways, right? And we know how these things are, how the string values or how the string constants are going to get stored in the memory. Okay, there are two areas. Prominently, we have heap area and SCP area. Right? String is immutable. We know why it is immutable. Once the object is created, you cannot change it. You cannot modify it. We know what is double equal to methods and dot equals operator. Double equals to operator and dot equals to method strings. Okay, this is the reference comparison and this is the content comparison, right? Because the dot equals method of string class is overriding the equals method of object class. So this is the specific implementation in the scale which compares the content, not the reference, right? And what else we have seen? We have understood about the what we call it as why string builder or string buffer is mutable in nature. We have seen some problems, right? We have seen these things from the memory perspective, right? Today we will understand about what? We will understand about the intern method. Okay, so firstly, let us try to do this. What we can do now is, let us do the same thing. Okay, I'm saying string s1 equal to new string. I want to store the sequence of characters is Java, right? So I also want to do string s2 equal to new string. Okay, again Java, right? String s3 equal to, so I want to pass the literal directly to the reference variable without using a new keyword. Okay? Same thing I'm doing for the variable s4 also. We have 4 lines of code, so we are creating a string. First 2 lines creates the string by using new keyword. Second 2 lines creates the string directly without using the new keyword. Directly you are assigning the string literal to the variable of string type, right? So when I say system.out.println something like s3 double equal to s4. Okay, so what is the answer?
True.
True is the answer, right? We know because they are going to get stored in the SCP area, definitely reference comparison, right? So they are pointing to the same reference, output is true, right? System, now let us do system.out.println. Now what would be the answer? S1 double equal to S3. S1
False.
false is the answer, right? Now the interview could be like, okay, the question could be like, you want to make it as true. We are getting false, but somehow you need to make it as true. How is that possible? How is that possible? Definitely it is not possible with this approach. Why? Because this S1 and S3 both are pointing to the different reference. So, 1 minute, guys. So 1 minute. I'm resharing the screen once again. 1 minute. Okay, let us trace this. Okay. So how many areas are there? Memory areas? Can someone tell me? For the string?
Heap and SCP.
Heap and SCP, right? So you have heap area, you have SCP. Yes, two areas are there. Then SCP, right? So for the new keyword, so an object will be created in the heap area, and the reference variable is what? Reference variable is S1, right? And it is going to have the content Java, and okay, Java. And for the future purpose, the same value, the same string will be stored in the SCP area also. Reference will not be given here. It will be given by the JVM internally. We do not have to worry about this. This one line of code has to do two things. One thing in the heap area and the second thing in the SCP area. Right? So first line is done. Second line of code is what? Again, new keyword. Okay, for every new keyword, an object is getting created, right? It's going to have Java. And the reference is what? Reference is something like S2, right? S2. And also it will try to do the same thing in the SCP area also. This time it will check, is there any constant Java? Already Java is there. Okay, the same, it is going to override the Java once again in the SCP area. The second line is also done. Okay, what is the third line and the fourth line says? You are assigning the Java constant directly to the S3 variable, directly, without using the new keyword. When you don't use the new keyword, then directly SCP area will come into the picture. Okay, it will check, is there any value of Java in the SCP area? Already there is a value Java that will be reused. Okay? S3 is going to reuse this object. Likewise, S4 is also going to reuse this object. Isn't it? 4 is going to reuse the object. This is completely fine. This is completely fine. Now fifth line, what does the fifth line says? We want to do the comparison by using the double equal to operator. So we are doing it like S3 double equal to S4. Okay, so S3 is here, S4 is here, both are pointing to the same address. So typically, okay, the output is going to be true one. There is no confusion on this particular line. Yes or no? Now look at the last line. Last line says S1 double equal to S1 double equal to S3. So S1 is here and S3 is here. Both are pointing to different references. So that's why we are getting fall. My question is, we are getting fall here, okay, but I want to make it true. Somehow I need to do some manipulation so that I can make it true. Okay, now intern method will come into the picture. So what I will do here is, I will simply call the intern method. Okay, this is our code, right? This is our code, right? So S1, this is the S1. S1 is holding the Java object, right? It is holding the, you are creating the string by using the new keyword, right? So simply I call what? I call the intern method. If I call the intern method, okay, the previous result was like true and false. Okay, the moment I use intern method, now look at the output. It becomes true. Okay, this line of code is actually manipulating the answer from false to true. Why it is happening is, okay, if I just apply this here, okay, so I have just I have just removing the existing logic and I am just using the intern method. So this is the intern method. The moment I start using the intern method, okay, this is the intern method on top of S1 reference variable. So where is S1 reference variable? This is S1 reference variable, right? The intern method will ask the S1 reference variable to jump into SCP. Intern method will ask the S1 reference variable to, it is in the heap area, right? Please jump into the SCP area. So it jumps into the SCP and look for the value Java. If look for the value Java, if value Java is already there in the SCP area, point towards that reference. Okay, this is happening. Now, the moment I call S1 double equal to S3, S1 is also pointing here, S3 also pointing here. So the output should be what? False. I mean, false becomes what? Are you getting? Yes, no? What I'm trying, I mean, about the, this is just an introduction about the intern method. So you just have to remember it like, okay, the reference will be jumping from heap area to SCP area. Are you getting it? Why it is going to?
What if content was different?
If the good question. If the content is different, it is going, for example, the content is different. Let us say that instead of Java, something like you have language. Okay, so it is going to create what? It is going to create the language here. So don't you think that if the content is different here, don't you think that there will be a similar content in the SCP area at the time of object creation by using new keyword? Yes, sir. Hello?
Yes.
If the language is here, definitely there would be a similar content. We should, I mean, it is just like, if the content is not there, it is going to create that content. Very simple. If the content is there, that is going to reuse them. Are you getting? Hello?
Yes, sir.
But the object creation will never happen in the heap area. The moment you start using the intern method, the object creation will never happen in the heap area. It will look for the equivalent content in the SCP area. We look for the equivalent content in the SCP area. The content is there, that content will be reused. If it is not there, new content will be created that is going to have the reference as well. Getting Pavani?
Yes, sir.
Right? So having said this, okay, if I do something, okay, let us remove this. Okay. Let me remove this language. Let's understand just about the intern method for now. Okay, what does it do usually? For example, the moment I start doing it like, okay, for example, if I do the same thing to the S2 also, right? When I say system.out.println S2 double equal to S4, what should be the answer now?
True.
Everything is true, right? Everything is true. Why everything is going to be true? Because, definitely even though you create an object by using the new keyword, but after that you wanted to do a manipulation by using the intern method. You want to do the manipulation the intern method. When you want to do the manipulation with the intern method, definitely heap area will never come into the picture. Heap area will never come into the picture. Directly, okay, the reference will be part of SCP area. Okay, and it is going to see, is there any constant Java that is available in SCP area? Of course, there is a constant in Java that is available in SCP area. Let me reuse it. If it is not available, let me write it. Let me create it. What is an advantage here? Unnecessary object creations, right? For example, let us say that you are creating an object and it is consuming some 1 byte of memory, right? And if you are doing, if you're following the similar way to create 100 objects, 100 bytes of memory with the same content, right? So this Java is being used for 100 times. This content is being used for 100 times or 1000 times. See guys, in the real-time application, right? For example, you want to store something like you are from Chennai. So do you think that only you are going to be the person who is from Chennai? There will be at least, let us say that you are dealing with an voter ID application, right? In Chennai itself, there are about 1 crore voters. If I create object for 1 crore voters, 1 crore voters by using the new keyword, assuming that one object is going to consume 1 byte of memory, so 1 crore byte of memory will be consumed. But the content is same, right? Don't you think that the content is going to be same? If I have such requirement, when I am sure that the content is going to be same, and reuse this by moving this content to the SCP area, by pointing the 1 crore references to the same object. In that way, I will be dealing with only 1 byte of memory, but 1 crore reference will be pointing to that 1 byte of memory only. Memory consumption is very less. It is drastically reduced. Are you able to follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Getting Sudhir, Balaji, Dinesh?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting? Real use
Yes.
for now, just get the basic idea. Intern method, the job of the intern method is right. Like, even though you wanted to create an object by using a new keyword, right? But you want to, move the, the object creation. I mean, you want to create the object by using, you want to create the string content in the heap area. Definitely new keyword has to be used. But you also want it to be like, if the object is already there, or if the content is already there in the SCP area, just reuse it. I do not want to waste memory in the heap area. If that is the case, go for intern method. Or every time, for example, every time your requirement is like a unique data. For example, Aadhaar card numbers are there now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are unique, right? You cannot share this Aadhaar card number, isn't it? It has to be unique for each and every person. You cannot, there is no scope for you to do the reusability, yes or no? Hello? There any scope
Yes,
for
sir.
the Aadhaar card number to do the reusable? No, right? There is no scope for even PAN card numbers. Right? No, reusability is not possible for the things that is very much unique to the person. You cannot reuse that. In that case, create the string by using the new keyword. Right? But if you are sure that your the value is going to be reused many number of times, okay, make sure that you are placing that content in the SCP area so that you can achieve the reusability. At least you can reduce the memory usage drastically in case of using the cities like Chennai. Some common and most frequent value that you would come across that is being used by everyone. Such things you can place in the SCP area. This is just the memory leveraging. That's it. You just get this understanding. Going forward in the collections topic, you will get much out of this. The moment we start,
Sir, what is the difference between intern and equals? Both are doing the same job.
no. Both are not doing the same job. Equals method, the job of the equal method, it is doing the comparison. Intern method is just changing the references. Okay. For example, S2 was here previously, right? Okay. It is just changing the references. Changing the reference is different. Double equal to operator is actually performing an operation. It is comparing whether these two objects are pointing to the same reference or not. Double equal operation during the comparison. Okay. Intern method is just trying to move the existing reference from the heap area to the SCP area. Okay. These references, there is a lot of difference between reference movement, right? Okay. If I use intern, it is moving here. If I don't use it, it will be here. This is completely different than.
I'm asking if S1 dot equals yesterday you told me.
Okay. S1 dot equals. Yeah, of course. Now the intern method. See, even though I am using intern method here, but still the compare. This double equal to operator is doing the reference comparison only, right? It is not doing the content comparison. But intern method will try to do what? Will try to map the reference like S1 reference. It will try to map it. If there is already a Java value in the SCP, it will just map that references. It is just doing the mapping. But content is being, content comparison is actually done by equals method from the developer perspective. You're not getting. Let me see.
Understood.
Intern method is just trying to map it. The content is already there. It will reuse that content. The content is not there. It will create the content here. It will create the content. For example, language. If you're using a language, it is not, it will create it. But the job of equals method is going to be a dealing between two references. Like let us say S2 or S2 or S3. It's going to be a deal between two references to ensure that both are having the same content or not. That is completely different. Getting?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Yeah.
Can we use this intern method for string buffers?
No. That thing is not there. This concept is because I said no extra day. SCP concept is not there for string buffer and builder. I said right. Only if area is there. When SCP area is not there, ideally there is no chance, right? Forgetting.
Okay, sir.
In the beginning,
Yes,
actually, I mentioned, right? SCP memory area is only there for string data, not for string buffer. So it is applicable only for strings. So intern method is also like, it is going to deal with SCP area. So the concept is not in string buffer. So intern method is not there in string buffer.
Okay, sir.
It's all about, this is not like what is what we are discussing. We are discussing, what we are also discussing what is what, and we are also discussing how. Both are we are covering here. Okay. The definition says canonical representation. Okay, it's just a technical jargon. What does it really means is, it's a kind of verb which is going to move the references from heap area to SCP area, right, and returns the string value. So actual answer is, if the string already exists in the pool, SCP, it returns the reference from the pool, right? If it does not exist, it adds the string to the pool. So this is answering your question, Pawan. The string is already exists, is going to use that. If not, it is going to add the new string in the pool. And why use intern method? To reduce memory usage. I have said this with an example, Chennai example, right? Okay. To map all the identical strings, share the same memory reference rather than duplicate. So to avoid duplicates, you can say. This is all about intern method. Getting it? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now let us understand the difference between string buffer and string. Okay, before understanding the difference, there are a lot of methods in string class. Lot of predefined methods, I can say. So what are the predefined methods? To understand that, okay, I also want you to understand one more thing. For example, let's say that I have something like string s equal to welcome. I have a string. I am using a value welcome. Okay, I'm creating a string by using a literal directly. So in the memory, okay, indexing will happen, guys. When I say indexing, indexing, right? So welcome. So it's going to have the memory blocks. Well, like this, it is going to be the memory blocks object, okay, and it is going to have the reference variable as yes. So which area it is going to be in? Which area? This is going to be part of which area? Heap or SCP?
SCP.
SCP, no? SCP, string constant pool. So we are just going deep into it, okay? So this is how the string will be, the sequence of characters will be saved in the SCP area, and this has the reference yes. This is the complete object. Okay, there is a concept of indexing. Okay, indexing starts from 0. Every letter will get an index. Every character will get an index. Index will always starts from 0. Right? Followed by 1, followed by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So if you have 7 characters totally, right? Since it is starting from 0, so it is going to be what? It is going to be ending at n minus 1. It will start from 0, it ends at n minus 1. So, I'm sorry. So, n is nothing but the number of characters. N is what? Number of characters. So, the number of characters are 8, n minus 1 is going to give you 7. So, that is going to be the last index number. Number of characters. This concept is called as what? Indexing. So, this is how it is going to get stored in the memory area. To be more specific, index starts from where? 0. Are you getting it? Okay, the moment I do something like, okay, so when I say system.out.println, there is a method called I think length method, I think. Okay, let me run this. It is going to return the a number has been written, right? Number 7 is written. What is this 7? Total number of characters. How many characters are here? 7 characters, isn't it? It's going to give 7. For example, if I add a space, space is also considered as a character. So how now what should be the value of length? Anyone?
8.
8, right? So 8 is going to be the 8th character. Space is going to be the 8th character. Right? So I have a method. Like, let me remove the space. There is a method called, s dot char at method. This char at method is going to accept an index. Let me repeat. You can call the char at method on top of reference variable, string reference variable. So this is our reference variable. I am calling the char at method. Right? When I say char at 3, when I say char at 3, okay, let me do this. Sum.outer println s dot char at 3. It will print the equivalent character on top of the index 3. According to us, indexing starts from 0, right? Okay. So what is a character at 3? This is 0, this is 1, this is 2, C, right? So C will be printed in the console. You can extract what character is there on a particular index. When I do this, we're supposed to get what? C. Are you getting it? So this is printing length. Length is going to be, right, total number of countable characters. The count starts from 1, right? Or number of characters. But if you want to extract the specific character on top of particular index, always remember indexing starts from 0. People will end up saying L is the character, third index, character at the third index, because they count from 1. That should not be the case. Indexing will start from 0. W will be sitting on top of 0th index, first index, second index, and third index. Getting no? This is the what method? This is the character at method. Used to find what? Used to find the particular index value. So this is the index, okay, and the exact equivalent value on top of that index. Getting it? Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
This
sir.
is plain, no? Very clear. Okay, so we will be using these things in so many areas to do some operations, right? So another method is there. Let me do what? Let me just command this. There is a method called toLowerCase method. Looking at the method name itself, you can say, right, all the characters will be converted from lowercase to, if there are any uppercase character, for the simplicity, I deliberately placing what? Some uppercase, some uppercase characters here, okay? Whatever the characters that you pass, everything will be converted to lowercase. Are you getting? This is toLowerCase method, right? So there is another method called toUpperCase method. toUpperCase. It's going to convert all the characters to uppercase. Welcome becomes welcome. Okay. Now there is one more. There is a method called isEmpty method is there. Okay. The beauty of isEmpty method is to check whether the particular reference is holding a string or not. Dot is empty. Okay. This S is not empty, right? S has a value which is what? Which is welcome. It is not empty, so output will be false. If I remove everything here, okay, now it is empty. You are not placing any strings. You have only double quotes, okay, but nothing is there inside. It is completely empty. It will return true. Are you getting it? isEmpty method. If I place a space is also a character, right? Now, do you think it is going to be true or false?
True.
True, no? Because space is also a character. It is not empty, right? If it is not empty, output is also. Okay, I think isEmpty method is going to consider this space also. Let me, when I have forgotten this, let me check. isEmpty. Correct only. False only, because it's not empty, Hello? This is not empty.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
some characters are there. I am also confused, guys. Some characters are there, right? Characters in the form of spaces, which we don't see. Some characters are there. That's why it is not empty. Spaces are considered as a character. That's why output is false, right? Spaces are considered as a character. Okay. Let us discuss few more methods on top of string manipulations. Welcome. Okay. So if you want to check whether the particular string is starting with so and so value, example, system.out.println s dot starts with, if the string is starting with something like this is starting with w, right? It will return true. If I say I want to check whether the string is starting with something like j, it returns false. This is important. Starts with. We will check whether it is starting with so and so character, right? And one more method is that ends with, system.out.println s dot ends with, to check whether the string is ending with a particular value or not. Okay, for example, if it is ending with e, right, it has to be true. If not, for example, if I say L, okay, it is not even ending with L, isn't it? It has to return. Are you good so far till now? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
One more.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, one more. Some few methods are there. So this method we try to do the evaluation from the front end. Okay, for example, you might be asked to check whether the person is entering the right email address or not. Sometimes there are high chances that these email addresses are not case sensitive, isn't it? When I say Balaji at the rate BALHI at the rate gmail.com. So this is how you consume the email address from the front end. Front end means the user interface, isn't it? So you consume, right? But even though if you access Gmail account, email address is not case sensitive. Even though you give this, internally they call two lowercase method. Everything will be converted to lowercase. Okay, then they will check whether this email address is there in the database. Are you getting it? This is one of the operations that you can do with the string. Likewise, each and everything is going to do some kind of validations. So the isEmpty method, you might be thinking where this isEmpty method will be used. In the front end application, there are some mandatory areas. Mandatory areas like you have to enter your name. If you are not entering your name, if you're leaving it empty, right? You check that whether it is left empty or not by using isEmpty method. If isEmpty method is returning true, you will not proceed further. You will throw an exception like please enter your name. Okay, so I will give you an assignment. You will get the better picture about the string manipulation. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? Usage, about the usage. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. With the assignments,
Yes, sir.
you can get this better. Okay. For now, our imagination is just limited because we don't know the usage, exact usage. The moment I start giving assignments, you will get the complete picture about the string manipulation and the areas of usage. Okay, let us discuss few more methods. We have a method like last index of, for example, the dot last index of the, so you have the value e here, right? How many times the character e is getting repeated in the string? 2 times, right? Okay, what is the last occurrence? You will get that index number. Are you getting it? For example, let me say www welcome. I am using 2 characters in w. When I ask the last index of w, what is the answer? You get 1 because this is the first index 0, but what is the last index of W? Now you tell me what would be the last index of W. I'm using 3 characters, similar characters, W, W, W. Now what should be the answer?
8.
8, right? Because even though you come across 3 characters, see 3 times. W exists here in 3 times. First time, second time, and third time. Okay, you will have to just find the index of this W, which is what? Which is going to give you 8. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What else the method we have? To check something like there is a kind of let me say, we know this, right? String s1 and string s and s1 welcome, right? So now some dot out dot println s1 dot equals, what should be the answer? Equals method we have come across this, no?
True.
True, no? Because both content is same, no? True. 1 minute. Okay, S and S1. I'm sorry, S and S1. References are, I have misused the references, S and S1. Good. Right? Sometimes, okay, you do not have to worry about the case. So here it is in lower case, here it is in upper case. If I want to do the comparison, dot out dot println s dot, so there is a method called equals. Do the content comparison, but don't worry about the case. So in that case, you can use for equals ignore case method is there. Okay, what this equals ignore case is going to do, if you want to compare S reference with S1, right? S is getting compared with S1. So you do not want to worry about the case, okay? But you need to compare the content. When you just pronounce it, this is welcome, but you don't worry about the cases. Okay, if you want to do such thing, you can use equals ignores case method. It is going to return. Getting this?
Yes, sir.
Now one more method is there is a method called trim method. To understand trim method, okay, I am keeping a space here. I am saying welcome Java. I have left, there are some spaces in the beginning, there are some spaces in between 2 strings, and there are some spaces at the end. If I start using the trim method, I want to use s dot. Now you see the output. Looking at the output, we can say that the spaces in the prefix and the suffix will be ignored. Spaces that you placed in the beginning and at the end will be ignored, but the middle spaces will not be ignored. Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
No. So trim method is going to trim the spaces in the beginning and at the end. If you have spaces in between, okay, no, those spaces will not be considered. So beginning space is trimmed and last space is also trimmed. Middle spaces will not be considered. That is the important of what trim method. Let me remove this. Now we have trim method. We have some dot out dot println. We have methods like not remembering it. Split method is there. Okay, this is the concept of regex. We will pass a value. This concept is a part of regex. So to use in order to, I don't think we have to pass the regular expression here inside. Okay, that is the future topic. To do the email validation, to do the password validation, to check whether the email has @ symbol, Okay, over there, we can come across this. Okay, that is part of future class. For now, we are getting the garbage value because we are not passing the right regular expression here. That's why. Okay. Okay. One more method is there. Substring method. Dot out dot println s dot substring method. For example, if you are passing an index here, let me say, let me pass something like. I'm sorry, index. Let me say 2. I'm passing the index of 2 on top of reference variable s. Right? So from there, LCOMA. So if you go back and see, it will start printing from the second index. This is second index. Every character will be printed. If you pass index 3, com will be printed. If you pass index 4, OMB will be printed. Right? Substring, to find the substring on a given string. Right? And there is a method called replace method. System.out.println s dot replace. So if you want to replace w with so all the w character will be replaced by x. Sometimes you want to mark some value, right? For example, if someone wants to mask your name, mask first 3 characters or mask some content. Okay, so you can do this, right? I think these are the most frequently used methods. Okay, and I will give you more methods in the assignments. Okay, for now this understanding is enough. We will discuss what is the difference between string buffer and the string builder. Okay, we have come across what? We have come across two things. So what does it mean when I say string buffer? String buffer is b equal to new string buffer. Okay, and I want to add something like Java sb1, and one more method is the string builder. I mean, one more class, not method, one more class, string builder. String builder sb2 equal to new string builder. Okay, Java. What is the difference between these two? Okay, both are 99% same. Both are what? Both are 99%. Both are going to do the same job behind the scenes. Example, is there any concept of SEP area for string buffer? Anyone?
No, sir.
No SEP area concept. Only heap area concept is there. Okay. So there is a heap area, right? So object will be created in the heap area. Objects are always created in the heap area. For the new keyword, one object will be created. Another object will be created. Okay, this is Java, and this is also Java. Content is Java, right? And this is reference variable is sb1. This reference variable is what? sb. Okay, now tell me sb1 is of what type? sb1 is of what type? And I ask you about a type.
String buffer.
String buffer type. sb1 is of string buffer type, isn't it? Right? sb2 is of what type?
String builder.
String builder type. No, sb2 is of string builder type because the type is string builder. Okay. So in the memory, both are same. No difference in the memory. In the object creation, both are same. If you look into the method, both are same. The only major difference that you have to tell is about the synchronization and non-synchronization. So the string buffer is a legacy class. Legacy means it was introduced in JDK 1.0, in the Java first version. Okay, this string builder has been introduced in which version? In 1.5 version. Version wise, string buffer is a legacy version or it is part of older Java version. StringBuilder is part of what? It is a part of current Java versions, but it was introduced in 1.5. From 1.5 onwards, you see the StringBuilder, right? Second difference is this is one of the difference in terms of introduction. The second difference is string buffer is something like thread synchronized. They say synchronized. Synchronized means this is synchronized and this is non-synchronized. So synchronized means at any point of time, okay, at any point of time, only one thread can access to this particular class. At any point of time, okay. So there is no concept of parallel execution. So you may be worrying about what is this parallel execution and all. In other words, for example, when you have an object, right? When you have an object, okay, most of the time when you include multi-threading concept is part of Java. We are going to discuss that in the future. So till now we have seen only one thread, which is what? Main thread. Yes or no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Till now
Yes.
we know what is main thread. Main thread is part of JVM will create the main thread and execution starts from the main method. Okay, so in the multi-threading concept, you have an option to create your own threads, user-defined threads, which means, okay, for example, if you have three code bases, okay, there is a block of code, there is another block of code, there is another block of code, okay, and let us say that this block of code is main method is executing this block of inside main method is also a block, right? So all the instructions inside the main methods will be taken care of by the main thread, okay? But there are some instructions that needs to get executed parallelly along with the main thread. So main thread will do the job of executing all the instructions inside the main method, okay? Let us say that it is consuming 5 units of time. It's consuming how many units of time? 5 units of time. If every block is depending upon this main thread, okay, this block will also consume another 5 units, this block will also consume another 5 units, depends upon how the way you are transferring this thread, right? If you want to ensure that you you create your own user defined thread, or something like you want to create your user defined thread so that each and every block will be executed independently. So you create what? You create one user defined thread. Okay, you create one thread, you create another thread. Okay, so if this main block is going to take 5 units of time, at the same time you also want to execute some instructions that is completely independent, okay, which is not even coupled with the instructions inside the main method. This is completely independent. It's not even related to the instructions inside the main method, so that you can save some time. If this is taking 5 units at the same time, okay, if this piece of code is also taking 5 units, okay, and this piece of code is also taking 5 units of time, okay, if you depend only on main method, if you depend only on main thread, it will be taking 15 units of time, right? If not, if you create your own threads, you can do all the work in the same 5 units of time. This is the basic concept, basic foundation concept I'm trying to teach you. You have an option to create what? You have an option to create many threads. This concept will be discussed in the multi-threading. Okay, but why I'm introducing it here is because when I say synchronization, there are some chances that one block of code will be executed by 2 threads simultaneously. So at some point, one block of code may get, there are high chances that one block of code may be get executed by more than one thread simultaneously. This block will be hit, or this block will be executed by more than one thread, which means this block is not synchronized. When the block is not synchronized, it means there are high chances that this block may get executed by more than one thread, right? But if you are restricting something, like you are saying that this block has to be synchronized, when you keep some restriction, when you say this block is synchronized, it means when one thread is executing this block of code, the other thread has to wait. At any point of time, only one thread will be executing this block. Once after completing the execution, then the second thread will come into the picture. At any point of time, only one thread will execute this particular block. When it is synchronized. When it is non-synchronized, many number of threads can be executing the same block. Now you got what is synchronization. I just want you to understand about the keyword synchronization. That's it. Not about the multi-threading. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just understand the word synchronization, not about the multi-threading. Forget about multi-threading. Synchronization is what? If you allow a block of code to get executed only by one thread at any point of time, synchronized block. If you allow one block of code to get executed by more than one thread at any point of time, that is called non-synchronized block. Okay, so the theory says, what does the theory says? Guys, string buffer and string builder both are same. Only difference is what? When it comes to synchronization, string buffer is a thread safe because at any point of time only one thread will get access. This means multiple threads can safely safely access a string buffer instance without causing the data compression. Why? This multiple threads is going to access one after the another, not at the same time. Okay, string builder says it is not thread safe, which means as its methods are not synchronized, therefore it is not safe to use in the multi-threaded environments. It means at any point of time multiple threads can access. For example, real-time analogy would be very funny. Let us say that, okay, in every time in the bachelor room I used to face the situation. Okay, so we cook most of the time 2 persons. If the 2% cooks the same curry at the same time, okay, there are high chances that you have to worry while eating curry. There are high chances that you have to worry while eating that curry. Why? Because one person, okay, may concentrate on salt and the other person may not aware that. Right? He adds some more salt. Hello, one person may add some salt. Okay, this is the person one. Okay, if you give the same job, if two persons are doing the cooking the same curry, you may be adding some salt. You may be putting some salt without the knowledge of other person. Other person will also add some salt without the knowledge of this person. But both are acting upon what? Or both are acting upon the same curry. Both are acting upon the same food. He may be adding some, for the spicy, he may be adding some additional chili powder, which he is not aware. So he might be adding the same thing. So when you eat that curry, you have to worry, right? This is a problem. Okay, if you apply this analogy with the real-time application, in the real-time application, there will be high chances that the data gets corrupted. Data gets corrupted because of non-synchronization. When multiple threads are acting on the same method logic at the same time, data may get corrupted. Right? So with respect to this corruption, they've introduced a concept of synchronization, especially for few methods and which means at any point of time only one thread will access and also the other thread will aware of this. In our kitchen example, if I am cooking the food, I will ensure that my friend is also knowing that what are the things I have done, then he will continue doing the next things. Both will not enter the kitchen at the same time. I do something, I come out and I will inform him what I have done till now. Then he goes inside, he will do the remaining things. If not, okay, both involves in the same job without knowing each other, okay, then curry, you have to worry. For getting this analogy, just worry about what here, you just worry about the synchronized keyword. Don't worry anything else. What is synchronized? This is what synchronization is. Hello?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Synchronization is a thread safe, which means at string buffer is thread safe, which means at any point of time only one thread is allowed in the particular methods. String builder is not thread safe, which means at any point of time multiple threads are allowed. Okay, but which one is fast? Performance wise, string builder is fast. when one job is being done by many persons, definitely units of time, okay, there will be less time consumption, right? But if there is a kind of sequential execution, one after the another, more time consumption. Performance wise, string buffer is bad, but when it comes to thread safety, string buffer is good. Apart from that, you see version history, string buffer is introduced in 1.0, string builder was introduced in 1.5. Okay, recommendation: use string builder when you are worried about the data inconsistency. When you worry about the performance, go for what? When you want to do leverages on the performance, go for string builder. You have some you just have these common methods. Append method is there. Just do some research. Very simple. Insert method. Reverse method is something like it's going to reverse it. For example, we'll discuss this now only. Please rejoin if you get knocked out of the meeting room, so that your assignments will be good if I complete this. What is actually happening? When I say sb1 dot append, okay, you can append anything. If I want to append something like Java language, the concatenation will happen. Output is going to be what? Java language. Append method clear. Okay. Insert method. Okay. Now see the insert method. You are placing an offset, which means, for example, if your string is Java, okay, on the second index you want to append this complete value LALR. Okay. What is the second index? So this is the second index now, 0, 1, 2. B is the second index. Before that, this LALR will be inserted. Okay, another good example is like, so for example, when I say 3, okay, .com. The person will enter the value, something like a value, will just append something. For example, if I'm entering my name, Balaji, right? So I will giving the offset Balaji123 @ gmail. Okay, let me give 6. After the I think after the 5th index, when I give 6 after the 5th index, it is trying to append this. Now we know what is the insert method. It will insert the particular value on the mentioned offset. Offset is, you will pass an integer. If it is 6, I think it is considering the characters from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After the 6th index, it is appending @gmail.com. This is how the what we call it as the suggestions will be generated. I mean, with the help of this kind of logic, you can also generate some suggestions. Okay, the person is entering his name. You have an option to give some suggestions. This is how the suggestions can be generated. But internally, database checking will also be there. It's a kind of thing if you want to append something to a particular string. Insert. Okay. Well, it is also like the reverse method. Look at the reverse method. If for the SB1 or reverse, the character itself is getting reverse method. What about this toString method? What about this toString method? See, yesterday, I think Saturday, Sudhir has asked some question how can we use equals method in for the string buffer? I said no, we cannot use equals method because equal method will do the reference comparison for string buffer, isn't it? Okay, so for example, if I have something like string, s2 equal to Balaji, or let me do it like this: string buffer s2 equal to new string buffer. Okay, I have Balaji. What happens when I try to do sp1 double equal to both are in the different memory areas, but if I want to do the content comparison, Balaji and Balaji, both are string buffer now. When Sudhir asked me the question, my answer is like, the types are different. sp1 is of string type, s2 is of string buffer type. So we cannot do the comparison, but still I want to do the comparison. Still I want to do the content comparison. How I can do that? sb1 is okay because it is of string type. But the problem is coming here because s2 is of string buffer type. That's why you are getting an error. You cannot, because they both are incompatible types. I want to make it compatible. Firstly, I want to convert s2 to, I want to convert this to string. String buffer has to be, the reference has to be converted from string buffer to string. Simple method is, I would say s1 dot toString. There is a method called toString method. Right? So what does it really mean? So I'm taking the s3 reference, which is of string type. Inside this s3 reference, I'm converting the string buffer dot toString method is there. Which means now I am able to convert the object type of string buffer to string type. Okay, now I can do the content comparison. I can say sb1 dot equals s3. True. Directly you cannot do that, but you can do it indirectly by doing what? By doing what? By converting the string buffer type to string type. Okay, you store that in the string variable because this is going to return. Okay, the value will be converted from buffer to string type, which means the resultant value is string again. Balaji is string buffer type. Because of toString method, this Balaji is converted from string buffer to string type because of toString method. You store that in the string variable, a variable of string type. Then you do the comparison. Are getting power of toString method?
Yes, sir.
This is the one of the ways where you can, do the content comparison of two different types like string and string buffer. Okay, you can do this conversion and you can do the comparison. Right, and you can also do the reverse. So these are the methods. Replace method, delete method is going to delete want to delete some value from a string, that is going to delete it. Replace method, if you want to replace some value, that is going to replace. So these are the main method you have to remember. Okay, in the interview, sometimes they will ask you how to reverse a string. Okay, by using inbuilt method, you can say by using StringBuilder, there is a method called reverse method. With the help of that, I can reverse a particular content. Right? Any doubts? Any questions here? I can